Amen. Due to recent events, we're going to need to change our approach on marketing. Can you start planning the changes as soon as possible? Thanks. Send. What? 2 weeks of effort and we're gonna change just like that? Please don't tell me you're gonna have to start from scratch. I mean, or else all this will really have to go waste. I guess I'll just have to reply. Okay, dude, I'll get that started. Now, what's not ideal about this situation is that we don't really know what the receiver is reacting to it. With this pandemic happening and the lockdown in effect, a lot of people could be going through some stresses that we don't even know about. Now, what's worse is that by communicating this way, we could be adding on to their stresses and we just don't know about it. So try this instead. Hey man, how's the progress with our marketing? I would say it's progressing really well. I've also started implementing some of the elements that were mentioned in our last meeting. Why? Hey, that's great, man. I really appreciate that. But you see, due to recent events, we're gonna need to start implementing some changes to our marketing plan. So I thought I'd just run it by you first, if that's okay. Okay. Alright, sure. Let's get it started then. The great thing about this method is that it allows you to have a virtual face-to-face as you're on video, so that makes you have undivided attention with the receiver, and you also get to see their reactions in real time, whether they're okay with it, whether they agree with it. And it's also easier for you to manage conflict as soon as possible if you detect it. However, communicating this kind of information via text or emails could lead to certain misunderstanding and conflict along the road, which we are not able to detect because we just don't know. See, by the way, technology is already in our hands. Why not take advantage of it?
Someone's going.
Are we live, Cherie?
Yes, we are. Where are you?
I'm coming. It's
very. You tell me you are TikToking in the kitchen.
No, I'm not. Hello, everybody.
Are you in some place somewhere?
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of CMA's #HRTV. Hope you guys are doing great. If you don't recognize me, it's me.
Hey, hi James.
Oh my god, do you like my new toy? It's really nice. Oh, the virus is terrible.
I know. It is.
How's everyone today? How's everyone? Good afternoon. Welcome. I hope everyone's had lunch or having lunch with us. It's day. What is it? Is it day or night? It's day actually. It's day 16 of the extended lockdown. So how is everybody doing? So I can smoothly say day 16 of the lockdown since today is 16th of June. 16. Easy for me to keep track of how long I've been living in this cave.
Exactly, James. Even I thought I lost track of it, but hey, it's 16 days, 16 real days, as I thought it was going to end on the 14th day. But what to do? The cases are still so high. But you know what?
That's why even in my house, I'm like, all these contraptions.
You're just too protected.
And I'm blending in. curtain as well. Look, my curtain is blue. I am blue.
Don't feel blue. It's not Monday anyway. But you know what? This HRTV session, I call it as the work from home edition because this is the first HRTV I'm actually sitting at home doing live from home. And I pray, seriously, I pray that the 500 GB Unified keeps up with its pace with our sizzling hot topic for the day today. I mean,
just like the weather outside. Oh my God, it's hot.
It is. It rained this morning though. But you know what? Well, as much as I was looking forward to having wishful thinking that on the 14th day we'll be released like free birds, but we're not because the cases are just too high. So many people still not vaccinated. Have you got your vaccination slot already? Mine is next week. I'm so excited about it. Have you got yours?
I'm going to hashtag chucho my whatever next week, Wednesday.
Me on Thursday, chucho my on Thursday, so you Wednesday and I'm Thursday. Perfect, man.
Yesterday I went to the pharmacy, okay, just like any other kiasu person in Malaysia. I went to the pharmacy and I said, can I buy Panadol? Is Panadol soluble better? Is Panadol active faster? I mean, if I get fever, if I get headache, what's going to happen? And then suddenly a customer walks in and she was like, I also want Panadol. I said, why? I also going for chucho. It's not just me who's buying Panadol, it's everybody.
Yeah,
so anyway, if you're new here, HR Intervention is actually an online talk show where we interview HR experts about everything related to HR. And, HR and career development, of course, we've covered some really, really important issues in the past. I think, what's our episode now? Is this episode 8?
Yeah, we've come that far.
We've covered so many important issues on like counter offers, unconscious bias, my favorite, and the workplace performance calibration, which was the one before, and so much more. So if you are a working person, this is a show for you.
Yes, definitely. So if you are first time watching here today, because I see a lot of new faces here, please subscribe hashtag newbie and please let us know where you're from because we've got people from US to Nepal to Pakistan to Singapore, Cambodia, Myanmar, but we really didn't know where they were from until much later on. So if you're a newbie, hashtag newbie and tell us where you're from. And if you are a loyal audience, please comment HRTV and we want to thank you for supporting us all the way. I want to say hello.
Shireen will send you one of this, and Shireen will send you one of this. No,
Ken, why not? Keep everyone safe, isn't it? See, I see so many nice, familiar faces. Hi, Vivian.
Yash Sibaruban, welcome.
Dr. Sulaiman, Yiming, Edwin. Hi, Edwin. Teacher Ken, my favorite teacher on earth. Oops, if my school teacher happens to join, I'm not offending anybody. Guess what? Yesterday in a meeting, I had a meeting with a client yesterday, and then suddenly this person pops up and goes, "Hey, Shireen, guess who?" I'm like, "Oh my God, my primary schoolmate." And presenting to her yesterday, and she's evaluating us instead as training providers. So cute.
Amazing how many people you get connected to while staying at home and working,
Yeah, exactly. So before we dive further into the topic of the day, I'm sure all of you are wondering what the hot, sizzling topic is going to be today and who the hot, sizzling...
If you didn't get the hint as it is already.
Don't give away too much. So for those who still don't know me, I'm Shireen Calais. Yes. Spelled as Callay, but pronounced as Calais. The managing director of Compass Mind Asia.
Like in Paris, in France, Calais, France.
Calais, yes.
And I'm James Sassi, Senior Manager of Learning and Development, and this is HR Intervention episode.
Hey, hey! How are all of you doing? Especially those who are working from home. I'm sure many of you are working from home. I really hope you guys are doing well. I'd like to welcome all of you. Hi, Clarice. Thanks for coming back again. Farida, Karishma, Jasdeep Singh. Where are you guys from? Okay, Nivashni. Hi, Nivashni from South Africa. Yes, I know her. Thanks for
Africa.
coming on. Yeah, she's from Malaysia. Karishma, where are you from? Was it Aradaman Sarak? I remember well. Hi, Liana. Liana and I connected not long ago, and she was the winner of an iPad when we did training for her company before.
So are you logging in from that new iPad, Liana?
This was like what 6-7 years ago, and I was asking her, is the iPad still alive? So nice to connect to so many new people.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Yes, welcome everybody who are tuning in with us on HRTV. And well, James, you want to check out what you're having for lunch with
What are you
us?
guys having for lunch today? Is it a takeaway or something that Grab Food or Food Panda just delivered? Or did your family cook for you today? We want to know. You know, Shireen, I've been cooking. I've been cooking and I've been cooking and I've been cooking and I've been enjoying cooking. It's so, it's helpful and it's de-stressing. Yesterday was fish curry.
What was that cheesy thing you had with some pasta in there?
It's my signature tuna pasta bake.
Tuna pasta bake. Okay, guys, if you all need ideas about what to cook, you know who to ask. He's so creative and his decoration of his food is like
Yeah,
mouth.
you don't even have to go out to buy food. It's like I've been back in my house. No, I'm based in. I mean, if y'all don't know, I'm based in Pasir Gudang, but here I am in Setia Alam. But I've been back in my house, and I've not left my house. I've only left. I mean, I've been back in my house for a month, and I only went out 3 times.
Well, you really don't have to because you have hotel standard food, hotel quality and hotel standard food decorated and cooked at hotel chef level.
What did you have, Shireen?
Oh, oops. What did I eat? What did you eat today? You said you had fish curry yesterday. What do you have today?
My housemate, my housemate of my home manager, as I call him, because he takes care of my house when I'm in Pasir Gudang. He cooked fish curry yesterday.
So you
I'm
ate
like,
leftovers today.
no. Fish curry is good when you eat the next day.
I know, it's super yummy. Well, what I had was black pepper chicken and mixed veggie. Well, guess what? Karishma said I'm having cow food salad.
It's healthy. Stay healthy.
I'm so glad, Liana, the iPad is alive. Although it's been asleep for a few years. Can you imagine what 6-7 years old iPad?
It's public in South Africa and 7 a.m.
So
Wow.
it's breakfast. So Nivashni, what are you having for breakfast? Let us know. Let us know. Anyway, guys, as we are going to get started, put in the comment below. We want to support each and every one of you. Tell us, how are you all during this FMCO? And in Africa, Nivashni, are you all also on a lockdown? Because we are on a full movement control order. Supposed to be fully locked down. Supposed to be. So
You know what? People are just out. The other day, I just went to get my grocery, and there was a nasi lemak stall, and there were people buying nasi lemak. I'm like, what?
well, honestly, for me, I feel the nasi lemak sellers need to make a
I,
living.
it's sad. It's sad. This COVID is just. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that everything will be good. Yeah.
Yay.
By the way, did you guys catch our pre-show videos? This time we have a very special short video created by our own design team, Faiz. So when I saw him, I'm like, hey, I know this guy. I know this guy. I know this guy. He's not from the office. He's from the other office, Shireen's office. So he did something that shows the challenges of working in a team virtually. Oh my God. I have a team and I have challenges. And what do you think, Shireen? I think it's a very good advice, right?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was a brilliant video. Self-made, in-home grown.
Like my cooking videos. I do it myself, you know.
TikTok.
No, it's not TikTok.
Yeah, but you have too many TikToks. So you're moving too fast on TikTok. Go slower so that I know your ingredients.
I neither tick nor do I talk. Enough delay, delay. Yeah, let's bring forward our guest for today. We have Koljit Singh, Senior Manager of HRM in the house.
Yeah, hi Koljit, how are you doing?
Hi.
I miss everybody who used to look different last time. James and Koljit were both my favorite people who used to have such cute cheeks, and now they both lost it. I'm so upset. Anyway.
One year ago, literally when the first MCO happened, my front door to the kitchen, I was doing 5,000 steps a day. People were saying, "Are you crazy in the house?" Yeah, because you're not supposed to go out. So I was doing 5,000 steps a day in the house, and I lost so much weight. I ate healthy while everybody else was supposed to say, "I'm putting on weight. I'm putting on weight. I'm putting on weight."
And you're like, I'm losing weight. Koljit, did you also lose weight during the MCO or before?
Yeah, kind of. I think what James says, I connect to him. I thought I was the only psycho doing it now, walking in my house up and down. So now I know it's actually right, fine to do that.
So that's great advice to all our audience today. So if you guys think I can't exercise because it's lockdown and I can't do this and I can't do that, no excuse. Look at these two guys as real testimonials how they lost weight during MCO, just walking up and down of the house. So really, if we are motivated, we can do it. Okay, enough of losing weight. Let me introduce
30 kgs, Sharif, 30 kgs.
Oh, okay. I beat you.
Size 48 to size 32. My hips don't lie.
Excellent.
By the way, guys, okay, enough of all this weight loss. And let me introduce a little bit more about Koljit to you guys. Koljit has over 25 years of HR experience. That's a lot, okay, a lot. And his background comprises of many areas like compensation and benefits, C&D, talent acquisition, learning and development, succession planning. What's that?
Favorite area.
Yay! Correct. Succession planning and talent management, union management. Wow. Industrial relations. Oh my God, that's a headache for me.
I just had an industrial thought during this morning, which was done online.
Interesting, right? Everything is done online now.
It was a chat.
Oh, okay. He's also expert. He's also into areas of change management, culture building, organizational development, and HRM strategic management.
Wow. This is like the HR guru of all gurus right here. Guruji.
No. I just had the pleasure of doing all these projects, so that gave me the experience. A lot to learn.
Yeah, and right now you are actually the head of HRM Excellence and IRER, responsible for driving and innovating the HRM division. Wow, that's big time. And you also play a significant role in advising and supporting top management. And another area that I love is organizational transformation initiatives. So that's what you do. Wow.
You see, guys, didn't we tell you that we will bring you the creme de la creme of experts on our show? Anyway, Koljit, we know the professional side of you. How about the casual side? Like, where are you from and what's your favorite food? Perhaps since a lot of our audiences are commenting on what they're having for lunch, like the cow food.
Cow food.
Look, even my snack is healthy, you know? Even my snack is healthy.
Good.
I got chocolate, Cadbury, Australian.
Wow, that's really tempting.
30% less fat, real ingredients, natural color and flavors, and only 135 calories.
Okay, James, I think we are dominating the show too much. Let Kojit speak now. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Because you were saying
Thank you guys. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. I'm really humbled. It was just an experience that brought me through the working life, and I have got some to share as well. So I'm really honored. Thank you very much for having me. I am actually a PJ, born, bred, grew up in PJ. I studied local university. I graduated with a degree in computer science and supposed to be a techie person, but eventually I realized my passion is in HR. Then started doing HR. Ironically, most of my family members, all my siblings, are also into HR. So we are all the HR family members, and it creates a lot of competition among us. I know this, I know that. You should do this, you should do that. So that keeps us growing and growing in HR, and we do a lot of sharing as well. So that is a little bit about me. I generally do HR because of passion. I like people. I like to make changes. I like to innovate things. So therefore, I am in this industry. I feel you can do a lot of things in any job, but do what you like doing. So therefore, today I am doing HR. That's a little bit about me. My hobbies, I like reading. In my free time, I like watching movies. I love traveling, but now since COVID, I only travel over YouTube. So nothing much to do. Locked in my house for the past 3 weeks. You're right. I also lock myself in at home, and I do a lot of. I also do a bit of weight management. I was quite big at one point of time. I lost in about 2 years. I have lost about 45 kilos, and I'm still
amazing.
on the process of losing. I'm trying. So I eat healthy. I do walking. I exercise. And the good part of losing some weight is that I know if I put my mind into it, I am able to achieve it. And really, believe me, it's not difficult. Anybody who wants tips on losing weight, find me on LinkedIn. We can talk about it.
Yeah,
That's
so powerful. So
Yeah.
powerful. Guess what? CA is actually buying his groceries while listening in. So let's advise him, Kojit and James, buy healthy stuff, buy cow food more.
Yes, buy cow food, buy salad, go. Buy all the healthy stuff.
I
And
think
you know,
after this,
you when you eat salad, right, you tend to get hungry faster, and then you tend to snack. The best way to do is buy nuts, mix nuts, raisins, and then you can roast them with so many different flavors. And there you go, healthy snacks.
hey, you know what? I'm just getting this idea. I wonder what the audience thinks. Maybe one of the next, maybe the 10th episode or something, or maybe the 20th episode, we can actually have a cooking episode. Eating healthy and losing weight. What do you guys think?
You can whip up
Count me
in
in.
under 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. What do you audience think? Do you all want us to cover an episode on eating healthy, losing weight and stuff like that? Let us know. Wow, hi Adrina, she's first time on the show. Rachel is also first time.
Welcome.
We welcome you. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, hey, what is this episode that is all hot and sizzling that I was speaking at the beginning? So
We're in the wrong show. We're in a cooking show. I thought it was a HR show. We're talking about cooking.
because we are hot sizzling people. So the hot sizzling topic for today is managing performance while working from home. I'm sure many of you work from home and wonder what kind of tools, what kind of things that you need to use while working from home, managing your teams and all that. So as we are all aware, we are currently still in lockdown and the cases are still high, except for the essential services that are allowed to work at the office. The rest are all work from home. And even last 2 weeks, we had a special guest talk about performance calibration. Remember that, James? It was so good. While working, performance calibration while working on a hybrid environment, so home and office. And since that covers the topic of performance review, so it got us thinking a little bit about how people perform while working from home. is everyone actually being productive or overproductive or more productive than ever? Or is anyone missing from MIA? If you watch my TikTok, yes, I did a video on work from home edition.
That was funny. That was really funny.
I know that was Nina's idea. Seriously, I was like, "What? I'm really going to do this," and we really did it. It was so cool. Anyway, we have the next 45 minutes to know more about this from the employee's point of view and also the employers. With actually so many questions lined up, including whether or not employees should be more lenient or be more demanding since the staff are working from home. Well, I did pray that 500 GB is going to move me pretty comfortably, but looks like Unify is letting me down. Okay, never mind. So before we shoot the questions to Kojit today, we want to ask the audience a question, shall we?
Yeah.
So from your personal perspective, you guys, you as the audience, from your personal perspective as an employee or an employer, do you personally think you'll be more productive, equally productive, or less productive? Or you have your days, of ups and downs while working from home? Let us know in the comment section below.
You know what? I think I'm overproductive. If there's a scale which is beyond overproductive, that's me. I literally have a butt print, if I can say, on my chair because I don't move. The moment I sit and I work, it's just that. So are you guys ready? Let's go. Our first question to you, Koljit, would be, how are you doing with the pandemic? Can you share with us how the pandemic affected you and those around you in terms of work?
I think we would not run too far away from the impact of pandemic. Generally, it was initially it was a little bit hard to accept. A lot of changes happen, and to some extent, the changes are for the better, and people need to adapt to these changes. The good part was that in my current organization, we are already practicing like work from home and things like that. So it was a bit the transition period was not so bad. But I feel bad for those organizations, probably the SMEs, where they were not ready for this, and suddenly there was this big work from home thing, and it became a bit taboo to them how it's going to happen. But after 1.5 years of this pandemic, I believe people are adapting to it quite well. In my setup, we are a little bit more established. We have tools, we have things, we have got support and things like that. But yet now we feel there is this disengagement issue. People may have got this fatigue due to this COVID situation. People are finding it a little bit hard to connect because when you're working from home, there's a lot more to do. So how do we juggle performance? How do we deliver our job? And what is exactly performance? And at the same time, being able to manage home as well, especially for parents, those with little ones at home. So that's a little bit of our challenge now. But nevertheless, we believe we have got a different approach of managing performance. We encourage people to speak up. We encourage people to use the available tools. We have got more of our culture activities happening. So that helped a little bit to buffer the impact.
Yeah, that's true. And I like what you said, that your organization had this work from home kind of culture even before the COVID started, right?
Yeah, we had.
Even us at Compass Mind, we've been practicing that for many years already. And I got a bit of a culture shock when it was MCO 1.0, when people were put at home. And I spoke to one of these construction companies, and they are my clients, so we were arranging trainings and stuff like that. And she said, I need to go to office because all my paperwork is in the office in hard copy. I was like, really? So actually, this whole trend made people change into technology really fast. But having said that, well, working from home isn't everyone's cup of tea, isn't it? Although some are glad that they avoid the peak hour traffic jams and stuff like that, which many like, but others have a lot of other concerns. So what are the challenges that people have to work while working from home? What are the kind of challenges you see that they have?
Generally, to analyze the challenge, I think we need to zoom down into smaller. We need to zoom down into the type of organizations. I will look at it from the more established ones and the upcoming, the SMEs. So for the more established one, I think their challenge would be more of managing people, managing the fatigue, managing productivity per se. Whereas the smaller one, I think they are probably even struggling with the fundamental of it, of getting the infrastructure ready, getting the platform ready. So different industries or different setups will probably have different challenges. So it's a very macro topic to talk about, but generally there are ways of mitigating these challenges. For bigger organizations, you require a little bit more engagement, which we will go later in more depth. For smaller organizations, probably they should look at more simplified structures of engaging employees, of using available technology in the market to support their business needs. You're right. If you are doing processing, say documents, invoices, and whatnot, so how are you going to automate that overnight? So what can you do? So what kind of platforms are you going to bring in? Are you going to spend millions of ringgit or thousands of ringgit over technology, which will be not feasible for smaller organizations? So different setup would have different type of challenges to start off with.
Yeah, it's like what you said. The challenges. Suddenly, you find that there is no photocopier. Suddenly, you find that there are no people that you can gossip with in the while making coffee. It's just you. But then again, somehow or other, change is the only constant, right?
Yeah.
So, as employers, I mean, bosses, um, the challenges that employers have, aka the bosses, have to face having their employees working from home, like you said. Technology, if you're not ready, what am I going to do? um,
But if you ask me, I think one standard challenge that every employee would have across the board would be managing performance, regardless whether you are a large organization or a smaller organization. What really matters is productivity. How are you going to work around it? Challenges are definitely going to be there. So
and we have
how
a
are you
very
going to?
important question. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a very important question from our guest. Can employees do their groceries shopping during lunch? I mean, in time of MCO. How? Good question.
Do groceries during shopping. I mean,
Like
during your.
during the lunch period.
During lunch hour, during the
Yeah,
MCO.
of course. Go ahead. You need to do that. You need to cook. You need to spend time with your family members. I even know organization that actually block 11 a.m. up to 2 p.m. for no meetings, allowing their employees to actually use that time as quality time to manage their house activities, which include shopping, cooking, caring for their needy ones, their kids or their parents. So I have seen organizations even blocking off certain times. I really do encourage. I think these are all changes that we need to embrace, because like what Kim said earlier, his chair has got a butt crack because he works round the clock. So in order to compensate that, employers need to be a little bit more understanding. There is no more, there's no such thing as 9 to 5 anymore. So therefore, there is the flexibility concept coming in. And having said that, that will also change concept of how we are going to manage performance as well. So the changes is just not about adapting to working hours, but it's also about adapting to managing performance. How are we going to manage, quantify performance, and how are we going to motivate? It's just not about taking the ruler out. Okay, James, you need to do this. It's just not about that. It's about engaging James in order for him to deliver more. So the whole process.
So what are the real challenges from work? I mean, for working from home. What are some of the, let's say, your top three? Since we've already been like 1 year, right? What would be the top three main challenges of working from home?
I think the first one would be adaptation to timing. As I mentioned, there's no 9 to 5. That would be the biggest challenge, and it's an acceptance by something that superiors need to also understand, management to understand. that there's no 9 to 5. That's number one, I would say. Number two, we also need to understand that employees have got more beyond than just work. They got family as well to manage for, and when kids are in front of your eyes, you can't tell them, you can't lock yourself away from and not and ignore them. So there's a second part. The third part is performance need to be seen from a different perspective. Performance cannot be quantified like how we were quantifying it prior to this. And we need to look at new methods or new concept of looking at how are we going to manage performance, how are we going to support employee in order to manage the fatigue of the employment, of being at home. Working at home, like what Sherin said, may not be a cup of tea for everyone, but when the push comes to shove, you really need to implement it. So then we need to adapt. So the adaptation process, I think, will be the biggest challenge.
It's really interesting that you brought up performance, Kuljit. How do you monitor work from home? Basically, in terms of performance and productivity, do you literally put cameras in their homes and like,
you give the employers an opportunity, they will do that. They put cameras, Okay,
Yeah,
but
man.
again, the reality is we can't go to that extent. So we go back. We need to look to, again. There are few prompts to this. The first prompt would be getting the fundamental ready. Then the second prompt of it is making the change to this. So this is applied both to bigger established organization and even for smaller SMEs. First and foremost, we need to have a process in place. You cannot deny that more established organizations tend to have more established processes. Small organizations do not have. So my recommendation is have a simple process in place. A process meaning as in what is performance? How are we going to quantify? When are we going to do the discussions? The most conservative way of looking performance is the 3 cycles. Objective setting, mid-year review, and then we have got year-end review. This will be the most conservative way of looking at it. But that may be applicable to some. Some organizations may not use that because, by the time I set my objective targets and by the time I have my mid-year review, it's like 6 months. So where is this really going to help me? I'm talking about I'm talking about pre-issues. I should be solving it, not talking about it in June or July, So these are all the challenges that we have. So have a robust process in place. Use simplified methods, simplify things. Don't have too many forms, documentation, things like that. If you have a system, a PMS system, that would be good. That is excellent. But if you don't, no problem. Smaller companies, SMEs can even use emails for that matter. You just start one email, talk about performance, write what is expected, and then send it to your employee. Your employee will then reply back to you. That itself is good enough to be a tool. So sometimes SMEs say, "Oh, I don't have a system to manage performance." Fine, no problem. Your objective is managing the business, but use emails, communicate. What is really important is have a process in place. Number one, I would say. So the process can be as extensive as a full-blown system. It can also be as simple as an chain of email to fourth and can actually generate good communication between the superior and the employee, and it can be right way of expressing each other. And then you need to after you have the process, you need to come up with tools. If you have the PMS process, very good. If you don't have, use emails. Fine. There are a lot of apps out there in the market that can help you for smaller organizations. They say maybe they want to spend a little bit of money. You can use apps like Write.com, Monday.com. These are all applications that support you to do your business on a very minimum cost. So of course there are some costs, but if you really do not want to incur costs, then the next would be go to emails. No more document, no more letters. That would be the next. The third and the most
the third one? Yeah.
The third and the most important thing I would say, you need to have regular meetings. A regular meeting agreed upon between both parties. Discussions. And keep it in mind. These regular meetings is about providing feedback. It's about providing coaching. It's about giving directions. It's about discussing issues. And it's also about motivating the employee. Don't forget the motivating part. Performance is all about engagement and motivating employees. So if you ask me, it's about that. Do it with a heart. They always say have a heart. Right? Do your performance with a heart. Yes,
Correct.
correct.
So
So
true. That is so true.
And comments from Rashida was the preparation before MCO is also to make us be prepared and organized. The previous MCO 1.0 has given us more experience in managing work from home, and we've become more productive. And Cheryl, welcome on board. It's never too late to join us. Do not micromanage. And she says that every company has a performance management system. Totally agree with Ajit, but I think there should be 1 month assessment since you're working from home, so that both the manager and team is aware when they have reached their target. So Shireen, what do you think?
Yeah, I will let Kojit answer that part of it, but I wanted to reiterate what Kojit also mentioned on tip number 3 just now about having regular meetings with the staff, and why you should have regular meetings also to motivate them. And I find another important reason is also to check in with them, how they're doing, because mental health has become so real. Like I was talking to someone, he says it's not about head count anymore in the organization, but heart count, how you count the heart. Then people stay, people love working. And I think there was a research done that people are staying in organizations now. Number 4, the reason number 4 is because they have a safe working environment from COVID right now. So these are all important to staff. So anyway, let's come back to your question again. But I want to ask Kojit another question. Many people, including organizations, are considering making this whole work from home thing as a total normal thing, right? So what do you think about this? I call it hybrid. What do you think of this option of 50-50, working 50-50 from home and from work when things are post-COVID? What do you think about it? Do you think it's going to be the new norm?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the new norm. We can't deny that. But again, it's very industry subjective. Some industries are able to do it. Some jobs can do it. Some jobs cannot. You just can't. You need to be at work site, especially if you're managing a plant or you're managing a site and things like that. It's very industry specific. But to answer your question, it is going to be the new norm. You cannot run away from that, and you need to adapt to start making changes. If you're not there yet, start looking at tools that you can bring into your organization. Look at the costing. There are a lot of cheaper tools out there that can support you. This is something that you can't, and it's definitely going to be the new norm. But again, very industry specific. Big consulting organizations, change management organizations, project managements are all fully working from home. I can name you a few organizations that have been working from home for the past 1 year plus, and the model works for them. It's that there's no two way about it, and it's also cost saving for the organization when they don't have people coming to office. They save rental, they save space, they save utilities, which can then in return be used as benefit in kind to reward the employee. So the employee takes back more in return. So it's a win-win for both. So these are all changes that's happening in the HR landscape. And then the good part is then we have got borderless employment. That means if I need to hire a salesperson, I can also go ahead and hire a salesperson from Thailand or from Singapore or from India, and that will also give me the leverage of managing my employment costs, my benefits and things like that. So it's so much more. It's so greater if you really look into the work from home concept. It helps the organization in many ways, and also help the employee. But very important, we again go back to fundamental, whether the organization, the business model is ready for it. And number 2, very important, whether the employee would want it or not. There have been situations where the employees are not happy about working from home. They would prefer to be in the office environment due to whatever reason. So these are things that the HR need to really pay attention to, how it helps the organization and how it helps the employee as well.
It's amazing because my office, my job is in Pasir Gudang. So when my boss says, lockdown is coming, you can work from home. I'm renting a place in Johor. I said, look, does that mean I can go back to my home here, where I have my lovely little plant with me? He says, yes, go back to KL for the duration of the lockdown. So I came back, and it's like you said, it's borderless. I mean, I'm doing equally as much work or even more. All you need is a good internet connected to your staff. Occasionally, we have regular morning meetings, 15 minutes tops, and then we go about doing our work and we update our bosses, etc., etc. But not everyone can perform as well yet under some circumstances, such as right now. They don't really have a choice. So how can we improve work from home performance? Are there any tools or techniques that can help them perform?
Okay, there are many tools, many techniques out there in the market. But before we pick tools and techniques, I would recommend to all employers and even the HR, first and foremost, understand the dynamics of your workforce, understand the dynamics of your people, what would suit them, what would not suit them, and also know as an employee, if I have subordinates, I need to understand the strengths of my subordinates, in which will be a stronger one, which is a more matured employee. So that must be the fundamental. Most of the time we go wrong because we don't do that analysis. We quickly jump into tools and we come up things like every morning meeting for 15 minutes, every day, by day end, we need to do a catch up. And then every Friday, we have a detailed presentation. We come up with all these tools. When you will find that some employees will feel that it is actually becoming a burden to me to do my job in this way, because that doesn't work for me in that way. So it's very important to understand. Okay, let me give you an example. If I'm a superior and if I have a subordinate who's relatively new, so then with that particular employee, I would then have more sessions, more discussions, more meetups, because he's relatively new. He need to come on board. He need to know. He probably need my guidance. If I have someone who's a little bit more mature, who knows what they are doing, then the meetups probably would be lesser. But I would then have an agreement with him or her. Either we meet up once in a week or every fortnightly, and what are we going to talk about, and what are the deliverables. So that need to be established first, number one. Mm-hmm. Secondly, the performance per se cannot be assessed like how we used to assess performance prior to this. We put one big KPI and we use the smart criteria. There you go. That's it. Live with it. Go. That is what we've been doing all the while. So now in this new norm, we need to break down into smaller pieces. If I'm expecting my team to perform, to say, for example, I want them to do, there is an IR issue. I want the employee to manage this, my subordinate to manage this. I am going to break it down that, okay, go and get the investigation done, part one, and then come back to me, and then do the second part, prepare the show cause letter, and then prepare the charge letter and things like that. I will break that down, and I will follow gradually if the employee is comfortable with that. I will come up with an agreement. So number one, understand the dynamics. Number two, break down the performance to smaller chunks so that you are able to support. Actually, breaking it down is not more to micromanage, it's more to give the employee a proper guide of what they are supposed to deliver. Once you have this in plan, communicated, it becomes easier. So to answer your question, James, that would be something that I think people need to be doing.
Yeah, we have. That's a great answer, Coach. A good perspective about working from home and the tools that we can use and stuff. We have several questions from the audience, but we also encourage more questions to come in. Cheryl has been very active, actually. She said, "Dear Mr. Kojit, are we human beings, not social animals?" Yes, we are definitely social butterflies, and we need to be with each other. Yeah, there are flip sides to working at home, and you want to have a change in life. Definitely.
My plants, we go everywhere together.
Yeah, it's not all about money. Definitely, it's not all about money. And Rihanna says if the company doesn't want to do any of that, what can an employee do? Any of which one, Rihanna? That means the giving the 11 to 2 o'clock break. Is that right? Or having a more lenient work schedule for work from home employees, because what Kojit said very clearly now, it's not about the time that we work. I know last time it's like when you work past 5:30 after your boss, longer than your boss, you are evaluated better, but times have really changed already. Kojit laughing, you remember that, right? I remember as a fresh graduate, they always told me, don't leave until your boss is about to leave, If not, you get bad reviews.
That only happens here. I've had work experiences in the UK where 5 o'clock they say, "What are you doing here?" If you go beyond 5, you are unproductive. And it's amazing because we have more questions to ask our guests. I'm just dying to ask before we go on. Like, we'd love to know your opinion on whether or not employers should be more lenient to employees under the current circumstances. Let us know what you think of it. Should be more lenient. And what I want to say is, it's the end product. It's how productive you are. And my favorite go-to word is, it is the alignment, not the assignment, that we should be focusing on now. How do you alignment, not the assignment? But I mean,
Agreed,
Yeah.
agreed. I think the journey is important. The journey of how you get your results is important, especially when you're working from home. And like rightfully said, we are social animals. We need to socialize. There need to be some sort of bonding. Only then you see people being more productive, people being more engaged. So you can't deny that. As I mentioned in my last bullet earlier, do the regular discussions. Again, align with the employee. What would make them comfortable? What is regular to them? Some employees would like daily. Some would like weekly. If they are able to deliver, allow them space to get their work organized. And let them know what is supposed to be delivered, and document it. The most important thing is we need to document. Sometimes we tend to talk. We say that social animals. We sit down over a cup of tea, over virtual discussion, and we laugh, then we forget about it. No, document it so that we are helping each other to keep the ball on track. So that's really important. Yes, in my organization, we do have this weekly, every fortnightly get together. We talk about anything that we like, any discussion. This is to build sort of a bonding. Prior to this, we do it in the office very regularly. We do makan, we do all these activities, the gossip sessions and whatnot. But now, once we are doing it virtual, don't talk about work. Block time to talk about anything else apart of work. Don't, and get everybody on board. Talk about things, and that's really important. And as a superior, when you do any calls to your subordinates, take 5, take 10 to ask them how are they doing, what they ate for lunch, how was their day. That really helps. Don't just say, okay, hi Shireen, we are here today to talk about performance. It's going to be a big turn off. So the social part of it is really important. It's not so much about managing it. It's more about engagement. You align people, you bring them on board, then you will get performance. There are a lot of tools that you can use in the market. A lot of tools. Worst case scenarios for smaller organizations, emails are also good enough. A trail of emails every now and then, you keep changing the same email, name it performance, and there you go. That's it. A tool to manage performance. As simple as that. But if you have a system, then fantastic. Go ahead. But whatever it is, that is only the process part of it. The more important part is the engagement, the alignment, and the communication. Be open, be transparent. If the employee is not meeting or not delivering as required, tell them out front that they are not meeting expectation. And as an employee, you need to also be very clear that performance management is actually the onus of the employee, not the employer. Because it's me, it's about me. It's about my performance, about my bonus, about my increment. So it's about me. So as an employee, we need to take ownership, and we need to always, time to time, go back to our superior, ask them questions. How am I doing? Where am I lacking? What have I not delivered? What can I do to be a performer? If you know, where am I now? If you say, oh, you are just a B, what can I do to be an A performer? So these are kind of questions that you need to drive yourself as an employee. So employer and employee plays a role, but the people who binds it all up are the HR. HR need to own it, need to support the organization, need to ensure that this happens in organization. Most of the time, HR
HR is
don't do
HR
that.
no longer is human resources. It is now heart relations HR. And I've got
Yes,
some.
yes.
I've got to read this really nice comments saying,
A
"Oh,
lot of good ones
time to
actually.
start, it's time to start a side hustle selling satay
Satay.
lor." She said, what if Tak Pandai sells satay? And then Cheryl agrees with me. She says, same in the US, we used to start at 7 p.m. and end at 4 p.m. And I sometimes used to lock the office if I left at 4:15. Irfan Ali said, well said, must be alignment for developing bonds to get everybody on board, more on engagement than in performance.
I so agree on this thing. I see Kojit using a lot of word engagement, engagement, and engagement, because when you increase engagement, you know how your people are doing, it also increases their performance. Isn't it, Kojit?
Yes, you're right. You're right. So
Jishing, you said, during this pandemic interim, I believe some essential services may require to work more than the usual business hours. If there are any suggestions that you would give to encounter by meeting our work-life balance and our expected performance to meet our needs,
That's a
just
good
quickly,
question.
Project,
Yeah.
what how can you do this? Like
What advice can you give her?
yeah, work-life balance and
She asked me.
work-life balance, as the definition of work-life balance has also changed. Prior to this, before lockdown, work-life balance it starts after 5 o'clock. That's where my work-life balance starts. I log up at 5. But now things has changed. Work-life balance is the availability of me to my loved ones, or availability of me to do what I like, during my spare time. That is, and the moment I get that, that's when the work-life balance happens. So is very subjective from person to person, how work-life balance is. So it's good as a superior, you need to give some space to your subordinates, for them in order to define their work-life balance. You may have a subordinate who probably is not so of a morning person, but then the person ends up working till 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening, and completing it and doing marvelous work for you. So then you should allow that space to that employee. That is work-life balance for that one particular employee. On the other hand, you may have an employee who likes to start at 9 and finish at 11, or finish at 6 or 7. Allow that to be more flexible. That's where work-life balance comes in. About encouraging people, some are actually working longer hours. You cannot deny that. So you need to recognize what is really important. We cannot be, as HR, we cannot be rewarding people too much, and we also got limited resources. Recognize. Come up with a recognition process. Say thank you. Simple thing as thank you will really bring up a person's motivation. So if you ask me, I think you can do that. You can. Of course, the best reward is monetary. If the person does go above and beyond, then you reward them monetarily. If you are not able to do so, then you look at benefit of kind. If you're still not able to do so, go back to fundamentals, appreciation, thank you, tokens, simple things really will drive people forward. That is what we need to do in this environment, because the business requirements cannot be adjusted. We cannot say we are going to lower business requirements, because that are business. That's the reason why we are here for. So nevertheless, we adjust and adapt to it. We look at methods and techniques that we can use. Cash, not cash, benefit in kind, not benefit in kind. Worst case scenario, appreciation, thank you, pat on the back, in the discussion, in your group, Facebook, company Facebook, recognize the person, things like that. That really helps the person and reward the person, even if they do extra hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that answers Suhanis Aziz's
Question 2. Yeah. Both questions answered at one time. Well, we're coming to 2 o'clock actually. Wow.
Time is just going by so fast. Oh my goodness! I just
we had such a good time learning so much from Koljit today.
Thank you.
you know what? We have approached the end of our session for today. Like my bell, my alarm is ringing. My bell is ringing. So we would like to thank our guest Koljit for all the brilliant things that you have shared with us today, and most of all your time for this serious discussions.
With us.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Pleasure was all mine.
This can be a challenging time for most of us, so don't forget to keep supporting each other and reach out to help whenever you need to. Yeah. Also, we urge everyone to register for their vaccination, and at the same time, hoping that the government can speed up the process as well before we can, we can't wait to get together with our friends. My Sejatera never moved until my company said, "Okay, we're going to do it ourselves." So, and then it started moving. So, Shireen,
we are social butterflies and travel. We all miss traveling. I'm sure all of us are just waiting to even the most get out of our house and get out to the next state, if not traveling elsewhere, So anyway, Koljit, before we end, would you like to share with our audience your social media links and how they can reach you in case they have any questions? Because the session was so good, so remarkable, so much of information, or maybe they just want to build a connection with you.
Yeah. Get me on LinkedIn. I am very active on LinkedIn. Koljit Singh. You can find me, connect with me, and if you need any support, any help, or you have any questions, or you need any further deliberation on anything that we spoke about, feel free to reach out. HR, we believe in sharing. We are here to mentor, coach, and develop the younger ones, and also anybody who needs help. And anybody who want to share anything with me, by all means, please reach out on LinkedIn. I'm active on LinkedIn. Facebook and others, I'm a bit private. Come on LinkedIn, and if you find me on WhatsApp as well, I'm also into many HR groups as well. But let's go on LinkedIn first. Okay, stay safe, everyone. Get vaccinated as soon as possible. Enjoy.
Keep dropping in your comments and your questions. We'll answer as we go. Our next episode of HR Intervention will be in 2 weeks from now. Hopefully, after my injection, I'm still alive.
Oh, yes, you will.
30th June 2021, same day, same time. Both me and Shireen are going for the injection on the same day, Shireen.
Good luck. Good luck.
Next week.
And we'll have a very special guest joining us to make sure to tune in. Check your calendar, 30th June. We'll also put the registration link in the comment section. So register now so you'll get a reminder. Shireen, over to you.
Yeah. Don't forget to connect with us too, James and myself, on our social media platforms. The links, even for Koljit, the link is in the chat, in the comment section, even for James and for myself. And if you have any training inquiries, and especially that Koljit has been speaking a lot of engagement, I have been preaching a lot to a lot of people. Do a virtual team building or virtual team hunt to engage your team, because engagement increases productivity. So till next time, stay at home, stay safe, stay joyous, stay happy, and we'll see you on our next episode of HR Intervention. Serious
discussions only.
Bye.
Bye-bye.